So, Paige, congratulations. We have had the only two people we've ever interviewed was Paulie and Cara, and I have no regrets about that. You are the first person we've ever had on the show to guest appear. How does that make you feel?
Oh, shut up. I didn't know that. I'm truly honored. I'm excited.
Technically, Rob was a guest appearance until...
Nah, I knew how this was going to shake out.
I was like, by technical standards, he wasn't supposed to stay either. We just, we're nice, Captain.
Yeah, we're nice now.
You were nice. No, I'm not nice to him anymore. We're not friends anymore.
Oh, we're not friends? I didn't get the memo.
No, yeah. Rob has a Russian bride that he's DMing. So we're not friends anymore.
Oh, Lord. She didn't drop me, y'all.
I do have to call you out, though. I heard that you said that you could smoke Laurel.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
There we go.
She gonna get me started. First off,
just my type.
First off, wait a minute.
Because he ain't scared of Laurel.
Hold on. I'm not.
He ain't scared of Laurel.
Let him explain.
No, it ain't no let me explain. I'm 5'9". I'm 195 pounds, almost 200 pounds. 101 physical, no, she can't touch me. That's 100% guaranteed. Physicality, no. Now you gonna just cut me off like that, and you done got me all worked out. You done got me all worked up now. So what question you got, girl? Talk to me.
I don't have a question. I just want to tell you that you're fucking delusional. That's not a question.
This is going to be such a great fucking episode.
He saw her at an event and she beat him in volleyball and he's never gotten over it.
Hold on. Wait a minute. No, because now she didn't already awoken the beast. It's over. But put me up. Hey, I'll show you. I'll put up. I don't shut up. So when the lights come on, I'm going to perform. It ain't no in between. You didn't have to say nothing. Now you didn't brought me out. You didn't amp me up. I'm ready to go hit the gym again.
You do know we all agree with her, right?
And see, that's where you wrong. Cause see now you didn't took my ability to that next level. So bring it on. You know what I'm saying? Bring it on.
Sure, smoke the boots.
Anytime, any place. It don't matter. You name it.
All right. So. Sorry about that. All right. So before we get into this, Paige, not that any people who listen to us is going to be unaware of who you are. Do you mind going ahead and telling everybody who you are, just in case they don't know who you are?
Sure. So my name is Paige. A lot of people don't know that. They actually think my name is Petty, which I'm here for. So on TikTok, it's pretty_PettyX. I have been dubbed the Queen of Challenge TikTok. I have a super popular podcast called Most Likely to TWO. And yeah, I'm just all about the challenge and reality TV and getting that inside information. There's a really nasty Reddit thread about me. Maybe you know me from that, But yeah, I'm really excited to be here with you guys. I'm stoked.
We're very happy to have you. Today's episode is going to be just like it is normally, just with Paige going ahead and not adding to it. But there is some stuff that I want to get into. Before we get into that, let me go ahead and bring this episode in. What's really good, pot stirrers? Welcome to another episode of Love, War, Challenges. I am MTV Malik. He is Robert Stewart Jr. She is Becky at Giftmaster Bex. Today we are joined with Paige from the Most Likely To podcast. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, before we go ahead and just jump right into the episode, I have some things to ask you because you have a very, very specific experience to some of these questions.
Okay.
And I'm going to jump right into it. Mainly, they're two different stories, but they kind of connect, and I want to get your take on them.
Okay, I'm nervous.
No, it's nothing crazy, but
okay.
I just think that you have some good insight on this.
Okay.
First thing I want to jump into is Jordan. Now, I have disliked Jordan for a long time, but I am willing to admit that his behavior in the last couple of seasons has improved, and I absolutely despise the fact that I don't want to say I feel like I'm coming around, but I hate him less. But Pink Rose responded to a question. The question was, wonder why MTV gave erasers like Jordan redemption, but not Cara and Pauly? And Pink Rose responds, because Jordan is easy to work with, extremely respectful, and didn't give them an ultimatum, thinking he was irreplaceable. Jordan also knew how to keep a low profile and allow stuff to die down, and knew how to clean his image. The other two have done the opposite in the past 4 years. Perfect example is today. I guess Pauly said some stuff that pissed some people off. Maybe in the future they'd be cast, but if her and her boyfriend continue to do stupid stuff, it's not as likely. I wanted to know how you feel about that, because with Jordan, you know, he has been cleaning up his image. There was a live with oh, why am I drawing
Naya.
a blank to her name? Thank you. With Naya. And all this other stuff, but to me, I would like to come around, but to me, it feels so calculated. Like he's doing this on purpose. And to me, it seems disingenuous. What is your feelings on the situation?
So Jordan, I've like met him and hung out with him personally, and he actually is like a really chill person. And I think that he's a good person, but I think that I think he has good person qualities, but I think that in the house and in competitive environments, it brings out the worst in him. And I think he's swallowing every part of that, because you know he wants to yell at Anissa, and you know he wants to tell Tori, go fuck yourself. So you know he wants to do those things, but he can't. So I think part of it is he's swallowing it because he has to. I personally don't know enough about the Cara Pauly situation for real to know what's really going on. But I would agree that Jordan probably played ball better than they would. But I think that makes Cara and Pauly more real than Jordan, because I don't think Pauly's going to be quiet just because a producer tells him to, if that's how he feels about something. And I think Jordan will. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And you echo a lot of the same sentiments that Robert has, because Robert has also met with him and talked with him. And just, he's repeatedly said that, if you just met and have a conversation with Jordan, you would feel otherwise too.
Yeah. Here's the thing. And it was a weird situation for me when I met him, because I met him and Laurel at the same time. And like, I wasn't really a big fan of Laurel. So like, I kind of had a wall up for both of them. And we spent like an extended amount of time together. So, but also Naya and I are friends, and I kind of have to trust her judgment on things, because I think that she is a good person, even though she's made a lot of mistakes. And if she finds forgiveness and she finds something good, then she knows him better than anyone. So, I have to kind of defer to her on that, if that makes sense.
It does. And that was one of the main things that had me start turning the corner on Jordan. Naya said something about, allow us, the grace, to come back and kind of like redeem ourselves. And I kind of took that to heart, because, I've been in some shit in my personal life before, and Lord knows I could have used a little bit of grace and class to, allow me to grow to be better. So jury is still out on that, but I'm glad you feel the same way. Robert has said some of the same points. The second thing I wanted to talk to you directly about is I saw this post in the Challenge Fans Facebook group. And it's from Lisa Scuderi Vinoy. I apologize if I hacked that name up. Should have practiced before I said it. But she said, did anyone hear the Reality Rundown podcast with Mark Long, Emily Longaretta, and guest Wes? Wes flat out said Cara Maria definitely did something to piss off production, and that it was not some minor discretion. And that that he said she needs to stop gaslighting fans, pretending she doesn't know what she did to not get calls. And basically saying she was happy that Wes called him out. Now, I said in previous episodes that I was like, man, something must have happened. Something must have happened. Like, for her to be treated in the fashion that she is. I wanted to know, what was your insight on Wes's comment on why Cara hasn't been getting the callbacks?
Oh, I like that I'm the Pauly and Cara expert.
Just these two specific things, because they came out and they kind of got my wheels turning a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people, I will say that I think Cara has been mostly private in the last year, and she's come on my podcast a couple times. So I think that's why I get a lot of questions about her. And I would just like to preface this by saying Cara and I have a really gorgeous friendship that has nothing to do with the challenge. So we don't really talk about the challenge because I think that would taint our friendship. But here's what I will say. She really doesn't fucking know. So if Wes thinks that's what it is, that's really interesting because, and I love Wes and I'm obsessed with his wife, but Bananas talks about production all the time. Bananas fucks production. So if we are saying that like people aren't getting casted because they call production out, everybody does that. Literally everybody does that. So I don't think that's what it is. I don't know what it is because she doesn't know what it is. But I think it's that was Pauly California, by the way. I think it's speaking of, I think it's, he like knows I'm talking right now. I don't know what it is. She doesn't know what it is. I don't think that's what it is. It's got to be something way bigger than that.
I would agree with you too.
Yeah.
And those are going to be the only Pauly and Cara questions, just because those two came out at the same time.
All good.
Now, before we dig into the episode, one last question. Amber, in the house, Amber seems to get a disproportionate amount of hate spewed her way. Most of us on the podcast has talked about it. It completely disgusts us. What's your feelings on Amber and her treatment for these past couple of seasons she's been on?
100% she doesn't deserve it. But I will say this, she kind of annoyed me this episode. So
just a little bit.
I'm very much like I have a man, I love my man, but I'm not stand by your man by any means. So like when she's holding his hand in daily challenges, that shit is annoying to me. Be your own person, girlfriend. Be your own person. And I think that he's nice. I've had conversations with him. I met him in person as well before they were even on the show. But I personally, if I was on TV, would have a hard time dating somebody that tweeted about me before we started dating. And she seems to be very much all about him. And so I wish maybe we got to know him better, but that's the only thing about her that bugs me.
Fair enough. We definitely disliked it. Go ahead and jump into the episode. Before we do, Rob, Becky, do you guys have any questions for Paige or anything that's been sitting on your mind that you wanted to get off?
I'm good.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
Is
we get back to the house.
I was like, he's just been like stagnant.
I'm chilling.
Oh man, he chilling. He's listening. So Olivia and Horacio get back to the house, and Olivia seems to be in a really forgiving mood. Doesn't seem to be a big deal between her and Nelson. She kind of took it on the chin. Do you guys think that her being so, and she's been forgiven all episode because this is a shit with Horacio too. But do you feel that this thing with Nelson and how he didn't save her, do you think it's going to negatively affect her at some point during this season? Paige, kick it off.
No, I don't think so at all. Here's the thing. I think Olivia, if you saw Olivia on Love Island, you know she's smart and you know that she knows what to do to win. And Nelson, even though he did have to throw her in, he's protecting her when he can. And at the end of the day, they're in this house for a very short amount of time. And so why not? What is she going to do? Cause a fight with him? And then the only rookie team is on the outs. That's not going to work out for her either. So part of it is she had to suck it up and be like, it's okay. And, you know, they don't follow each other anymore. So I wonder what happened.
Well, I mean, Olivia's been out on her, when she's done podcasts, basically saying Nelson had feelings. She really didn't have feelings. It was kind of just a situation of, you know, you were there, you were available. It happens. Two attractive people in a house kind of works out that way. It happens. I mean, I can see it. Listen, women know, and people, period, people, men and women, both know how to sneakily say, oh yeah, I'm not mad. But in the backside, if they can fuck you over later on, they will. So at the end of the day, maybe she gets revenge on him for not saving her and she doesn't save his ass or not. I mean, it's kind of hit or miss. Either way, they're a rookie team. They're going to be seeing this area more and more. It's just, it's an undeniable fact that rookies are going to get thrown in. And they have the unfortunate that they're attached as a rookie team versus having a vet and a rook together. The only other team that may get thrown in more often, and that's just because for some reason everybody hates her, is Amber. So I don't know. I think that maybe she might slyly make it harder for him, but I don't think she's going to be outright vindictive.
Yeah, I agree. But the only thing I'm going to really say about that is, you got to earn your stripes. Okay. She hasn't earned any stripes for real, because she's only been in 1 or 2 eliminations. So
what? Olivia?
Yeah, they've been kind of doing good in the dailies.
They are don't get me wrong, they're a strong team. Don't get me wrong, they're a strong team.
She hasn't earned her stripes being in elimination 3 times. What does she need to do to earn stripes to you?
Oh, snap.
What is with you against women?
Here you go. First off, you need to change that tone because you're going to get me worked up.
But anyway, we're tone checking women out.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, so that's what he says. Okay. Okay. Now we're really done, Rob. Now you're trying to tell me how to talk?
Wait a minute. We done? Hold on.
All right, let him go.
This is a competition. You got to remember. It's $1 million on the line. And, they, got some type of chemistry going on because they in the house. But, he might have got some. We don't know. It could have been off camera. We just don't know. I think it was off camera. But I'm interested to see if it does come back to bite him. But I think it's going to hurt him in the long run.
All right. And the last thing on the A block I wanted to get into was Fessie having this, he had a bout with some self-doubt. I want to like Fessie, but I kind of think he's taking it to heart a little bit too much. He's like, I've been in it for 2 or 3 seasons. I got all of these losses. Bruh, it took CT 10 years to get a win. You got people like Johnny Bananas and Carver going out first on their season. Do you guys think that Fessie is being a little bit too hard on himself with all of this self-doubt about why he hasn't won, or is it appropriate? Becky, kick it off.
I think he's a bitch.
Damn!
I think he's a little bitch. I should be doing so much better. And I'm going to say something that Rob said. This motherfucker is way too damn big to be fucking up this much. You are a tier 1 athlete, allegedly over here talking about how amazing you are and the best at shit, but you're losing. Number 1, you lost in finals because of your own stupidity. And it's not because of anything other than the fact that you fucked up. So stop talking and blaming other people, because over here in your mind, I feel like I should have done so much. You fucked up. You can't finish a final. Sit your big ass down. Shut the fuck up. It is what it is. As much as I hate Jordan, he will fuck you up in a final. He will fuck you up in an elimination, as long as he doesn't require a pole wrestle. But and at the end of the day, I will take Johnny Bananas every day in a final over Fessie. Period. He could be 50.
You could take him over 80. You could take him over 80 or 90% of the actual cast. Rob, what about you?
Number 1, Fessie is not there. He's a little soft. Yes, he's too damn big. Becky, great minds think alike. But yeah, I'm like, what you crying for? This is a game for $1 million. If you are crying about oh my God, I just don't know. They've been doing those things. No, get your big ass in the weight room and hit the weights hard, okay? I ain't got time for that. You should be already a champ, but I don't think you got nothing to prove at this point, because I don't think you winning. Simple as that. You too soft.
Paige.
I actually think he's entitled to his feelings. However,
okay, Paula, you get to be the Paula of the group.
Well, I think he's entitled to his feelings, but it felt a little fake is the only thing, because I don't really think he cares that much. Like, I don't really think he cares that much. And But what I did clock was Mariah saying like, yeah, like all these other people have more wins than you, but that's luck and circumstance. And like dead ass, some of it kind of is. Some of it kind of is. There's a lot of people that have wins that it's like, okay, you got lucky.
I think that's any game. You rely on luck just as much as ability. You know, you may get the one puzzle you can't do. Like, it is what it is. Like, you see Kara falling apart at math. That's always been her downfall. You have Tori who couldn't finish a puzzle. There's a ton of different things that kind of come into play that make people lose. It's all about that factor. Luck always comes involved. Don't fucking talk about, oh, it's just because you got lucky. No, there's other things involved, but luck is always there.
But it's also in your preparation. Let's take it back when Jenny got ran over by Tori. She came back the next season. She killed it because she worked on her weaknesses, and that's what got her to win Total Madness. So back forth, you been off season. What do you do in the off season? What is your preparation?
Cry.
Do you do bustles? Do you do math? Do you do these necessary things to cover yourself? And right. But besides that, you have to be prepared. You stay ready so you don't have to get ready. He's not ready.
So
piss off, Amanda.
So a lot of you guys have made a lot of good points. Paige, I'm with you with just like, he is entitled to his feelings. And even if somebody's a big and strong, they do have these feelings of self-doubt. And, you know, it's okay to have those feelings and to deal with them in a healthy way. You guys talk about he's too big. What? Is he too big to have feelings? So I don't really think it was disingenuous.
That's not what I meant.
No. First off,
hold on. Let me finish. I didn't get the feeling of it being disingenuous. I loved how Mariah was there comforting him. But I think Fessie needs to understand it is hard to win a final, just like it is hard to win a Super Bowl. All because you're the best out there at running doesn't mean you're going to win. All because you're the best at swimming doesn't mean you're going to win. All because you're big and you're strong and athletic doesn't mean you're going to win. We've seen people win with less. It takes a lot of things, a lot of elements that you have to be good at, and it takes a little bit of luck to go your way if you're going to pull off one of these championships.
But I'm not crying, dog. I'm sorry. I've been through the trenches. I'm not crying. That's just simple as that. You dare to compete for $1 million. If you do not win, you need to work on that stuff in the off season. What you crying for? Bump all that. You a competitor. Let's go.
Listen, the issue I had with Fessie crying about it is because of the fact, I guess it is sort of the entitlement of, I should have won. I should have won because I'm the best. He's walking around acting like he's a peacock when he's a goddamn pigeon. I'm sorry. It just does not make sense to me. You want to be a peacock, be a fucking peacock. Don't be a fucking pigeon and then pretend to be a peacock. Sorry.
You're not the best. He's not the best.
Sorry, the plumes.
I'm just processing all of this because I'm looking at this cast of men and take Jordan out. Who's the best?
Take Jordan out. It's Johnny Bananas. He's got what, 7? I'm get ready, working on 8.
I know we're not there yet, but Johnny, who fucking laid down in the middle of this mini final, go off.
The man is 40 years. Let's get it right. He's 40 years old. He's the same age as I am. We have our moments, okay? He's been there, done that. The man, if he makes it to this final, he's got 100% chance of winning this whole thing.
I'll take Nelson over Fessie. I'll take Johnny over Fessie. I will take, because Johnny, the thing is he's well-rounded. He might not be as strong in other places, but he worked. That's why Jordan's so fucking good in it. So irritating because he's well-rounded and he's good at everything. He may not be the best, but he's good at everything. So that's what I'm saying overall. Fessie just isn't good at enough stuff. He's not well-rounded. And like, to Rob's point, he needs to start working in the off season on something other than building up muscle or running. He needs to be able to use, and he talks around talking about how smart he is all the time too, but apparently that's not all there either. So at the end of the day, that's where I get frustrated. You're not going to walk around talking like you're the best when you're not the fucking best. And just because you're a tier 1 athlete doesn't mean you can win a challenge. And that's been proven over and over and over again by weaker players winning. And I can see, honestly, at this point, I can see Devin winning before Fessie.
Honestly,
agree.
I totally agree with all of that. I think Fessel has his ego way higher than it should be. I would disagree that he's not well-rounded, but I would say he's inconsistent is his problem. He's either winning or he's last. There's no really in between. So I think he's good at puzzles. He's good at endurance. He's good at strength, but he's not good at all of those things consistently is his real problem. Yeah, I could see Nelson winning over Fessel this season too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nelson is playing one of his best seasons ever, even without Corey nowhere in the mix. He
Maybe
has
because Corey's not around.
A good point. He has an amazing partner, and he's making mostly some pretty good moves. But let's go ahead and move into this daily. Today's daily is it's a mini final. It's called All or Nothing, and I've said this before in previous shows. The mini final halfway through the season is one of the best things that the challenge has come up with lately. It's great to put them to the test. It's great to see how everybody shakes out, and you get to really see a lot of people. Now, I'm not going to go through this chronologically because we'll be here all day talking about the final. So let's go ahead and talk about our favorite moments, or our least favorite moments, our likes and our dislikes when it comes to today's daily. Rob, why don't you kick it off?
My likes was the final 6 miles. Can I please get a Spartan race like this, please? That's all I ask. I want a Spartan race just like y'all did today, because that was a whole lot easier with the mess I got to go through on a real terrain. Okay, so that was just a walk in the park to me. I loved every minute of it. They had to go 6 miles. I love the barrels where they had to walk across without touching the floor. And Jordan had to start over. And who else had to start over? I can't think who else had to start
Jordan,
over.
I think.
Jordan and Nani and Bananas had to start over. I thought that was pretty cool. And them putting the weights on the sled, so whoever got there first was at a bigger advantage over everybody else, because here you got to pull over 5, maybe 1,000 pounds to the end. So I was loving it. I said, can I please get a Spartan race like this? But in the end, Fessel and his teammate won. So he kind of showed him, okay, I came to play ball. So if he gets to a final, he might have a chance of winning the final if he stayed consistent. But just like Paige said, he's inconsistent, depending on which Fessel shows up. Is it Fessie Messy or is it Fessel?
All right, and Paige?
I liked it. Here's my problem with some of the dailies though. Did I need to see it for that long? Like, I really kind of didn't need to see it for 40 minutes. That was the only thing. I was surprised that Jordan and Anissa did so terrible. I didn't think they were going to win, but like they've actually been doing pretty good in dailies. But my most surprising thing was Amber and Chauncey. Why are they doing so badly? Is he big for nothing? That's what I can't figure out. But Fessie and Mariah, they pulled out the win. She's really good partner. Olivia and Horacio, he really kind of showed his ass a little bit. So I liked it overall. I thought it was good. The barrel thing with Bananas.
Ridiculous.
The best part is he's like looking at the camera going, people are going to give a shit for this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He choked on a big dick on that one. And he really did. And so,
on a 4-piece puzzle.
Well, here's the thing. Like at this point, I don't think he's throwing it anymore. I think he really just sucked it up. I think they were throwing them for a while or trying not to win for a while, but I don't think this one they were, because I think they kind of saw it in the air when TJ said, hey, like a big thing is coming. I think they kind of saw the writing on the wall, what might be happening, especially those that were on Bloodlines. And I think he really just sucked it up. I mean, Nani did too, of course, but I like to see people fail and I like to see people succeed as well. So I like Mariah, Fessel's partner. I really like her a lot. Other than the fact that she's fucking Johnny, I really like her. So it was nice to see her win. And I think she carried her weight on that team a
Girls
lot.
make poor life choices when they're in the middle of a house with no one around.
What else are you going to do? Jay's gone. No one else is there. Like, come on.
Well, you could try and snuggle Nelly, but then you have to compete with Olivia. And goddamn, that girl's pretty. But anyway, I really did enjoy trying to see what his Johnny's vision was with those barrels, because I have a feeling I know what his vision was, but there was no way that was going to happen, because I think he literally thought, oh, could we just roll this all the way to the end? But the funny thing is watching Nani being like, what the fuck is going on? The fact that they went out on a 4-piece puzzle also kind of really makes me laugh on the inside. Because of Johnny just being Johnny. And I'm okay with him this season. Like I said, I always have a love-hate relationship. One season I'm love him. The next season I want to throw him off a bus. There's two different ways with whoever Johnny decides to be during a season. I did see Jordan really pulling out, and I think he was just having fun with this. He knew he wasn't going to win. There was no way he were going to win an endurance challenge with Anissa. Like, the fact that he's like, we're going to catch up to you. Don't mess up. I did find it funny when Fessie put the tire over his shoulder and jumped up. I was like, that tire looks so teeny tiny on him. I was like, is he really that tall? Because it felt like the tire was much bigger on the ground. What I didn't like seeing, obviously, was watching Olivia and Horacio end up with there was such a strong partnership. To watch it kind of hit that really downward hump really kind of made me sad. Because I love both of them. I think they're both really strong competitors. And I really want them to win. I want them to be the winners. I don't think they're going to win. I really don't think they're going to be the ones at the end of the day. But in my dream scenario, Horacio and Olivia burn all those fucking vets and make it to the end.
Only in a perfect world. There was a lot to like. I like that. I always love the idea of the mini final. I think it's great, especially at the exact 50% point of the season. Always good to see. Of course, Bananas and 90.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. So this is episode 9. Do we have 9 more episodes of this season left? Are we thinking?
I am not 100% sure.
It's gonna be a long ass season.
I think it could be anywhere between 6 to 10.
Hey, I love it. Bring it.
I'm like, I need to start drinking.
He said I need to start drinking. I'm dead.
Listen,
we've already been on it.
What was the first 20 minutes of this fucking episode of like Love Island or Big Brother that was happening?
A Block was absolutely terrible. But back to the daily. Yes. Back to the daily. Of course, Bananas and 90 shit the bed, but it was very, very, it was a lot of fun to watch how they reacted to it. They're just like, yeah, we fucked up and it's all over. And that was really, really cool. Horacio walking off on Olivia, it did seem a little bit out of character to him if you don't consider the obvious. Now, Paige, I would love for you to weigh in on this. It has been my deduction that Horacio was in love with Olivia. Fucking loved her. He got friend zoned and stayed on as a friend. They are good friends. And I'm not saying he's in love with her now, but I do think that this started off because Horacio was in love with her. I don't base this off any evidence, just off of what I think. What is your take?
I disagree. I think, but like, I am such an Olivia stan. I followed her on Love Island.
Love Olivia.
Yeah, love, and I know you guys do too, but based on what it is, maybe he did get friend zoned and his feelings got hurt a little bit, but really also what I think is his original show, he didn't have to live in an environment like this where it was, you know, all these social things and competitions, and she did. So
what was his original show? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
It was like Excelton or so. It was basically like Ninja Warrior meets Spartan races. It was like a completely physical competition. It was like what Jenny West did, like Survival of the Fittest or whatever it was. So it wasn't like Love Island where you get like voted off or anything like that, I'm pretty sure.
So you think it was the environment that got to him?
I think the environment fucks with him. He doesn't want to play social game and she does, and that fucks with them. And then also, I was talking to somebody about this earlier. These soccer players, man, they're real competitive and they can't stand losing. It's all the soccer players I've ever seen on this show. They can't stand it. So I think that when he loses, he takes it out on himself. And because he has a partner there, he blames her too. So I think he's young. The environment fucks with him and he doesn't like to lose. That's just my opinion.
I mean, that makes sense with the soccer players. I'll be honest, the level of physicality and testosterone that flows between soccer players, because they fuck each other up on the field.
But so. I'm gonna bring it to the athletic side of it, because I'm still in that realm, because I lift weights all day, every day. I'll put it like this: if I lose, I look for ways to come back stronger. You know, and don't get me wrong, I think he handled that whole situation wrong. Even though this is his first time, he should have been looking at it like, okay, how can we get better? Me and you, how can we come together and make this thing work? Okay, we got to communicate better, because the communication was off, and you could clearly see that. So now he's got to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, how can we get this together, and how can we win this money?
But also a portion of it, though, is I can also understand I have a really bad temper as well. So when I'm in a bad mood, I need to walk away from it, because I do explode on people. So I understand kind of what his situation was. Is he's I'm pissed. I don't want to take it out on you, and I will if I continue to stand here. So let me walk away and calm down and come back. Now, he should have voiced that to her and said, listen, I need to take a minute. I'm heated. It's not on you. I just need to calm down, and I'll be right back with you. But like, he just didn't do that. It's all, again, a communication issue, but he needed a minute to walk away and calm down.
I will say I was wrong. The show is a little bit competition. There's like eliminations in it, but I also can't quite figure out how it works because it's all in Spanish. But it looks like there are.
Send it to me. I might be able to figure it out.
There are eliminations, but they compete with like athletes, like Olympic athletes and stuff like that. So it's mostly about like your physicality, not about your social game. So that's, yeah.
Got you. And just to round out this daily, I was super impressed with how Fessie did. You know, he had some self-doubt, but he went in there and absolutely crushed it. Love to see it. Fessie and Mariah gets the win. And then we get to TJ. TJ tells us that, you know, some things are going to change up. They are going to be moved. This is going to be moved into a team's game. Mariah and Fessie are going to be the captains. They're going to pick their team, and they're going to split them up. Whoever picks one person, the other person is going to be put on the opposite team. Now, we're all used to these challenge twists. Some are better than others. I just kind of wanted to get your guys' idea on what do you think about this change up at this point of the game? Do you guys think it's going to be good for the show or bad for the show? Paige, kick it off.
It's just going to be the show. I don't think it's going to have an impact.
Like, at all?
Not really. I think the drama would be there regardless, because I think there will be drama. I think the way this was handled will cause some drama. But either way, like if Fessie and Mariah had to pick somebody to go into elimination, that would cause drama too. So either way, it's going to cause upset, but I don't really think it's going to have an impact on the show overall. Just my opinion, because they're going to get back together eventually. It's going to be
That's what I think.
It's going to be exactly like Bloodlines. Now, how they're going to handle the eliminations, that I would like to see. Because if there's, 10 more weeks or so, and we assume that 4 couples, or however you want to say it, go into the final, there's got to be a weird twist on these eliminations. But I don't think this twist is anything to write home about.
Okay. Becky?
I think they kind of already foretold the fact that it's going to be a bloodline situation. I was like, listen, I just want more information. Like, it's just not enough information on exactly what's happening. Because with the guy, what did they say during the preview? You no longer have a partner. You can't stay here. You're going home. So that to me says it's going to be the same exact thing as Bloodlines. Casey goes home. So does Wallpaper. Whatever his name is. Kenny? Kenny? New
so
Kenny.
Cruel.
I mean, I don't know his name. He barely talks. He's never on screen. But I can see that happening. again, and I just need more information. I didn't mind it. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, either way, like she said, it is what it is. It's just kind of figuring out what's going to happen and how it's going to work.
I think relationships are going to be tested more so than what bloodlines were. I think we're going to see some, it's going to either make or break the relationships. I think we're seeing a little bit between Fessie and Mariah, especially the way how the breakdown of the teams went. So I'm excited to see it, but I think it's going to be make or break.
So this is what I think. We've seen these kind of twists before. I don't think that this is going to be a super long season. There's about 7 teams left, so we can think that there's going to be about 3 more eliminations before we get about to the finals. So we're probably looking at about 5 episodes, 6 if there's a reunion.
Depends on how many people are they putting in a final.
Yes.
So how many teams are they sending into that final? Could be 6, it could be 4.
100%. We just don't know yet. What I am hoping for is we have single eliminations, and what I really hope is that we get a little bit more viciousness when it comes to these. We were denied an elimination this episode, so I can only hope that these eliminations are going to be a bit more physical, a bit more aggressive, which is one of the things that we have been missing for most of this season.
I mean, what do we think of the teams, though? Do we really think that Fessie made out like a bandit, or do you think that it's going to bite him in the ass? Very similar.
So we're going to get into that in just a minute. Before we do, I definitely want to get into Club Night. This season, for the most part, Club Night has kind of been disappointing. In previous seasons, Club Night has been a way to push the story forward. You get the challengers in a new environment. I feel like this season's Club Night has been really, really lacking. What do you guys think about how they've been doing Club Night so far? Becky?
Well, Club Night used to be a lot about politics. At this point, there's not a lot of politics going on because everybody, it's such a large group that end up going into eliminations. So I'm sorry, I don't know if I was the one you were going to call on. I just, you know me, I always got to say something.
You were.
Okay, that works. So I do enjoy a little bit more of, I want a little bit more of the drama. I want a little bit more of the politicking, a little bit of the more side-eyeing kind of situation. Obviously, alcohol is involved, so it's always a situation where the more you drink, the more kind of stuff that kind of happens.
The more reckless people get.
Yeah. I mean, look at how many things happened because of Club Night. I mean, Nelson almost got sent home one season because of a Club Night, and he almost got into a fist fight.
Josh was the king of Club Night. He would go out to Club Night just to start shit.
Yeah, entertainment. He only there for.
Well, he wanted somebody to hold him back every single time.
Where's security at?
We're like literally behind everybody. Come and get me.
I'm done.
It's interesting this season without him as Fessie's little sidekick, and then without Corey as Nelson's really side. I guess Nelson was Corey, but you know what I mean? It's interesting to see the people without the best friends there. Like, I kind of am loving the fact that they're not there.
I mean, Corey wasn't on this season because Taylor was pregnant, right? Or was he just not on this season?
I think that's what he said.
I was going to say, because why wasn't he Nelson's ride or die? I mean, I'm like, I love Nerese and I'm glad she's there, but let's just be honest.
Amanda. It really should have been Amanda, but she said no.
I'm not 100%. Surprised. She didn't want to be around Fessie no more. She's like, fuck that dude.
Amanda and Devin are two people that I really disliked when they first came into the game, and both of them have really, really grown on me so much.
I still don't fuck with Amanda.
I love Nerese, though. I love Nerese.
I love Nerese. Love her so much.
Beautiful.
Don't know how I feel about the Devin. I don't know how I feel about the Jordan thing with Nerese. I'm not really too excited about it, but I am excited for what it can bring for later on this season. Before we get,
we already saw a semi-mini explosion with Tori fucking freaking out on him.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for those two.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be great. Back to Club Night. Not a whole lot to write home about. Horacio apologized to Olivia once again. She's in a forgiving mood. But Fessie kind of plots with Casey about how he's going to take over control. And to me, this really spoke to who Fessie is as a person. I want to like him so bad. And he's a Muslim like me. He's a Muslim who be fucking up like me. So I definitely love to see it. But I think that this is a point where a lot of people who is on the fence about Fessie really get to see what kind of guy he is. Do you guys think that Fessie's behavior pre going into deliberation sours him in the eyes of people who look at him? Because he came off kind of like an asshole, like, hey, if I got to screw over Mariah to get the team that I want, I fucking will. Rob, what's your feelings on this?
I feel that he is jeopardizing his relationship with Mariah. I don't know the extent of how well he knows, and apparently they know each other well. And I mean, it's going to affect what happens on outside the game, because she's gonna be like, okay, you remember the time when such and such. So that's gonna come back and bite him when the cameras are off. So I feel that he's on slippery slopes, but there's also $1 million on the line too. So he needs to actually be thinking about, how can I put my ride or die in the best situation.
Mm-hmm. And Paige?
Can I share a tweet?
Absolutely.
Yeah, girl. So you show some tweets, girl.
So Mariah tweeted, love her.
Love her.
She's so cool.
She followed me the other day and I was like, okay, girl, I don't even follow you, but let's go. She's the greatest. So she said, I trusted Fessie to be a good friend, but instead, when we were walking back from the mini final, I asked him if we could talk to make fair teams. And he said, I brought you here. And then I became super sick. And he said, not my partner, not my problem. The real tea will be spilled on a podcast later. I defended Fessie's character so much to the other challengers when he didn't deserve it. He talked behind my back, making crazy statements like he carried me and many more. Fun fact, I was sick to my stomach going to the bathroom every 5 seconds with fever while filming during that interrogation, making our teams and the next challenge. I couldn't stomach anything. Chills, fever, the shits, vomit. I was totally taken advantage of and lied to.
Oh, shit.
That relationship is over.
I was going to say, I have a feeling they're not friends anymore.
No, they're not.
That is wild. Paige with the tea coming through. We love it.
I just happen to see it. It's interesting because although I understood where he was coming from, where he's like, I'm not going to stack your team. At the end of the day, if he's such a challenge fan, he has to know that they're going to be brought back together at some point. So if that's the mentality, hey, I'm going to be brought back together with her at some point, then why wouldn't you want her team to be just as equally stacked? Because if she gets thrown into elimination and she loses, he could potentially be going home as well. So why wouldn't he want her to stack? Or why wouldn't he tell her something like, hey, maybe don't pick this person on your team, or maybe don't pick this person? My opinion, good partners would have made it even. Tori and Devin would have made it even. Nani and Bananas would, every single one of those teams would have made it even. Even Nelson dumbass would have found a way to make it even.
Oh, Nelson's not going against Nerese.
No, absolutely
Kill
not.
him.
He's just a little dummy. That's all I mean by that. But
Nerese is the brains of that operation. Let's just be honest there.
Fessie is the only one, in my opinion, out of those pairs that actively tried to make it uneven and sabotage his own partner. He's the only one that would have done it, in my opinion. I don't even think Bananas would have done that to Nani.
Well, unless he wants to get his penis cut off.
That is saying the fucking most.
I think that's just solidified who he is in most people's minds. I mean, at the end of the day, he's not a popular player when it comes down to, like, I guess, personality. He walks around like a peacock and he's a jackass. I'm sorry. And I guess somebody, there's a meme that I saw is like, you can spend all day arguing with a pigeon, but all they're going to do is shit all over your board. And they're just going to walk around like that they didn't do anything wrong. And that's just how I imagine Fessie being. But at the end of the day, I knew he was going to do it. I knew he was going to screw her over. He doesn't really think in the long range. We've seen this multiple times. So he doesn't really think long term, and doesn't realize the effects of this. Obviously, the fact that he literally told her, not my partner, not my problem. Fuck you. I hope you get run over by a truck. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like,
No,
I'm petty. I'm angry. I'm mad for her. Jesus.
The fact
I think
that
you're
he said
100%.
he carried her fucked up because he didn't. He did not.
No, she's been performing.
She's
Hey.
a strong performer. Without her, he would have been fucked this season.
Wow.
I think you're 100%. Mariah has been performing, and I keep looking for reasons to like Fessie because I want to like Fessie so much, and he is just making it incredibly, incredibly difficult. Now, before we get into deliberation, one other thing that came up, Jordan and Nerese. They're getting close. They're cuddling.
Snuggling.
They're snuggling. I want to know your feelings on this unholy union. One, for me, I absolutely hate it because I am a Nerese fan. I never seen her. I guess she was on Are You the One? Basically, and I'm just thinking that, oh, Tori just feels some kind of way because she's seeing her ex with somebody new. But she says, like, yo, you're in my bed. You're in my bed naked. Like, you're giving me mixed signals. What's your whole take on this whole Jordan, Nerese, Tori thing? Becky, let's hear it.
Tori's being a hypocrite. I try my best not to defend Jordan because it hurts my soul and my feelings. But at the end of the day, they haven't been together for a long time. She had an open rebound with Fessie 2 months after they broke up. Huge verbal arguments all over the place. And yes, maybe she's grown and okay, maybe that petty side's still buried deep down underneath. But at the end of the day, he's single. He can do whatever he wants with whomever he wants. If you don't want to see it, take your ass outside like you did. But don't come to him and start getting mad when you guys aren't together. And yes, he's crawling into your bed because it's familiar. I'm sorry, the familiarity of going with an ex happens. And they still obviously probably are attracted to each other and have like maybe that little like reminiscent thing. Or it's like a reunion, you know? Maybe he doesn't want to lift his, or she doesn't want to hit her totals. She doesn't want to increase her total numbers yet. Her body count, what do they say? She doesn't want to increase her body.
Is that a thing? Who
so
cares
it's
about
a
that kind of
recycling
stuff?
situation. She's helping the environment. But I think
Jordan's
she's just
recyclables.
she's helping the environment. She's just reusing. But anyway,
is that a thing? Recyclable? It is?
Recycle an ex, recycle somebody that you've hooked up with.
Give me 1 second while I text my ex.
You don't want to add to your body count, so you just go back with somebody you've already been with.
I'm done.
I feel some kind of way about that, but Rob, let's hear it.
Maybe that's a girl thing, Becky, because as soon as you said that, I was like, yeah.
You know what?
It is a girl thing because we get shamed. At the end of the day, we get shamed for adding for our body count.
I'll put it like
think
this.
that we just want to, like, their dick was so good that we just can't get enough. No, we're just trying to, like, we just
I feel so attacked right now.
body count.
Like, let's be honest, because at the end of the day, women, Paige can agree with this, women are attacked constantly. Oh, you're a whore, you're a slut. But it's just easier just to recycle.
Not men. Men don't care about that kind of shit.
We don't.
Okay.
I'll put like y'all feelings. I feel like y'all feelings get hurt because this is what it seems like with Tori because she still has feelings.
Like our feelings, like me and Paige's, or are we talking about Tori?
Women in general.
Women in general.
Oh,
and
be careful there.
I'm talking about Tori though, mostly right in this episode. Okay, so this don't have nothing to do with Paige and Becky. Okay, I love y'all.
Watch out, tiptoe through this, my friend.
But no, I'm being for real because of the fact that she's got still strong feelings for Jordan, and it showed in this episode. How I know is because I've been through something similar. Okay, I'm like, okay, we not really, like that. But when I asked you, let's, make this official, you start acting funny. So then I'm single, I'm doing my thing, but don't get mad at me because I'm over here talking to this girl right in front of you and I'm a single man. I understand you got to feel, but no, you can't have it both ways. You got to have one or the other. So that's why I said what I said, is because I'm speaking from experience, but she does have strong feelings towards Jordan. Simple as that.
She's not over it yet, and he is.
Right.
He's moved on, and she hasn't.
Right.
He broke up with her.
Huh?
He broke up with her.
True.
So
Right.
that's part of it.
Right.
Now, here's what I will say. Never been a Tori fan. Never.
I liked her first season.
I almost came close to meeting her one time.
Listen, I'm just going to say that you ladies got me definitely feeling some kind of way because a lot of stuff has just made sense.
There's somebody who understands me.
It do.
Yes.
It do, but I'm 40 years old, so I've been through it all.
You look 28.
And
Thank you, but I'm understanding. I understand both sides. Okay, I understand the female side,
I don't.
and I
I'm
understand the
pissed.
man's side.
what?
You will get there, Malik.
What?
Oh,
Are
no,
you mad
I'm-
because of what we said, or because
No,
of
but-
Tori?
I'm texting my ex right now, asking her some really uncomfortable questions.
I'm not doing that, dog. I passed that point.
If you're my
Like-
ex and you're listening to this, I am not sorry and I would do it again. But
I'm
They're
not
gonna
ma-
complain. They're gonna
I'm
be,
not
oh,
mad
I
at
can't
it.
believe you had sex with me again.
I just want some understanding on why we are where we are. And Jesus
Listen,
Christ.
I'm not going to speak for all women, but I am going to say this is something that is well done by multiple people that I know. That they don't want to increase their body count, so they recycle old dick.
That makes sense.
Oh shit.
okay, but here's the thing: is Tori recycling old dick? Because according to Jordan, they're just wrestling. We know he's like fingering her minimum, right? We do know.
I doubt that. He probably sticking
On
it in.
camera? On camera?
He
Yes,
got, wait a
minimum.
minute. Wait a minute. He got some on the low.
Listen, she was naked
I think
in
so.
bed with him. Something
Yeah.
happened.
And there's nothing wrong with that for either one of them. Now, I will say, Jordan, he could be a hoe. He could do whatever he wants. He could live his best little hoe life. However, Tori is entitled to feel some kind of way because although I do agree she has her hypocrite moments, which she kind of, I don't want to say she admits it, but she, like, I think she knows.
She owns it a little bit more.
Yeah, women.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
Tori.
didn't watch her do that on TV. He could have turned the TV off. And he's doing it right in front of her. So to quote Marie Rhoda, I would blow that house up myself if my ex fiance who broke up with me was banging the hottest girl in the house. That's probably the problem.
A year later?
But wait a minute. How long have y'all been separated? That's the question.
Well, here's the thing. Although it is a year later, it is the first time they've been around each other. So maybe it feels new. And I'm not trying to be a Tori defender right now. I'm just saying I understand where she's coming from. However, why don't she go fuck somebody?
From what I understand,
She did. There was Fessie.
she was in DMs before this season started. So let's just be honest. From what I heard, she was in Horacio's DMs trying to hook up with him too. So let's be honest. Like I'm not gonna lie, Tori's as much of a seeker of male attention as Jordan is a seeker of female attention.
Get it, girl. They can get it.
And that is okay. No slut shaming here.
No slut shaming. She can do whatever
None
she
at all.
wants. No,
Don't be a hypocrite though.
sorry. Side note, when Fessie was talking about sliding into somebody's DMs that lived in Sydney, we know he was talking about D, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I
100%.
just want to make sure that got clocked real quick. That
Yeah.
he was talking
Did
about
you saw his face? It was like, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, exactly. It was so fucking apparent. Who else would it
They
be?
aired that and they didn't air D at all on Total Madness is the greatest thing ever.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go ahead. That was great, by the way.
Fessie is
Let's go
such
ahead
trash.
and move into the draft. I'm going to skip over deliberation because not too much to discuss there. But let's
Other
go
than
ahead
Fessie
and talk
being a
about the
dick.
teams. Yes, he was kind of being a dick. But here goes how the team shook up when it came to the draft. Fessie, he got Casey, Anissa, Bananas, Chauncey, Nelson, Olivia, and Tori. Mariah has Kenny, Jordan, Nani, Amber, Nerese, Horacio, and Devin. Are these two teams equal?
No.
No.
Not at all. Fessie definitely got the he has the upper hand in this. Even though I don't think it was done too nefariously, I think Mariah just probably didn't play this right. There's a lot to go into this about how this is moving forward, and we don't have a lot of information. But let's talk about how these two teams was formed. Were you guys okay with how they figured it out? And what's your ideas?
Go off because you got two high profile athletes in the challenge. Okay. So now it wasn't no give and take for Fess. He said, you're going to either go this way, you're going to turn left, or you're not going to turn at all, which he gave his spiel on. But I think at that point, I think the relationship between Fessie and Mariah was on notice that this is not a friendship anymore because I don't trust you. And Mariah already said, I don't trust you. So I think those first few moves that they made, especially with him picking Casey and then she picking Jordan, that was the all be all to that relationship.
Okay, and Paige.
I mean, they're not even. However, she could have really made it even, and I would have. So what she could have done, but I think maybe she was trying to still maintain their relationship, even though fuck him. If everything she said is true, fuck him. So if he picks Casey and gives her Kenny, and then she picks Jordan, gives him Anissa, and then he picks Bananas, give her Nani, she should have picked Nelson and gave him Nerese. That's what she should have done. And she didn't. She picked Amber, which I thought was the weirdest thing. And I don't know why she did that, but in my opinion, she should have picked Nelson, and then he would have picked Horacio.
I think she needed to pick a female, though. Didn't they say she needed to pick a female?
After Bananas, yeah, she had to pick a female.
So there was no choice. She would have had to have
She could have picked Nerese.
Yeah.
Well, she got Nerese anyway.
She would have. She should have picked Tori. Well, I guess she got Tori anyway.
No,
she got Devin.
No, yeah, she got Devin.
Oh yes, then she should have picked Tori if that was it. Because picking Amber was weird to me. Because in my opinion, Amber and Chauncey, based on their performance and their social game, they should have been picked last.
But Amber's loyal and a loyal number for her. I think that's kind of why she wanted to keep her close, because they are
Why
friends.
would you not want that on the other team, though?
I get her mentality. I do understand her mentality, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a winning mentality. And the problem is having Amber on an opposite team of Fessie is exactly what he wants. He doesn't want to work with her, so it gives him even more power. Even if Amber is a strong competitor, which I believe she is, she's a great runner, she has a lot of endurance, all of that stuff, maybe separating her from Chauncey will keep her head in the game more. Putting her on the opposite side of Fessie, that does nothing for anybody's game other than his, unfortunately. So my opinion, she should have picked Tori. I was actually surprised that Tori and Devin were picked last.
I'm not.
Great call out. I was super surprised that Devin and Tori went last. I thought that was absolutely fucking ridiculous. Have you guys not been paying attention? Just a couple episodes, I was just saying how it surprised me that Devin and Tori have so much power in this game and is going so unnoticed, even by me. And, it really caught me off by surprise. But also, Bananas is going as the number 3 pick was also super surprising. Amber going as high as the number 4 was also surprising. Nelson and Nerese dropping to 5 under that. This draft did not go any way how I thought it would go. Casey and Kenny going first? Get the fuck out of here. Just so many ways that this thing could have gone. It did not go any way that I predicted it. Becky.
I mean, when I look at it, it is a brains versus brawn type of a situation. And underdogs don't necessarily mean that they'll lose. I mean, look at what happened on Bloodlines. Kara's team swept the allegedly stronger team. And honestly, I would pick Jordan over Johnny at the end of the day, period. Because I think Jordan is just a stronger competitor overall.
I
and I think he could get you wins.
I super agree with you because, and I hate to say it, having Jordan on your team can definitely change the momentum of the game.
And if Jordan is continuing his encouraging stage where he's being encouraging and helping out the team, you could tell how serious I am about that. Sarcasm, insert here. I can see him being very motivating, and he does have, it seems like he has had a good influence on a lot of the other competitors. Plus, at the end of the day, though, Nelson is a strong competitor, I actually would prefer Nerese. She's strength and she actually has smarts. I think she has endurance to keep this going. I really think she's carried him a lot this season. He would not be doing as well if it weren't for her, in my opinion. That's entirely me.
I agree.
And I think, honestly, having Devin on the team, and the reason he was picked last is because he's got the West treatment happening where everybody's like, you're a snake. You're in everybody's DMs. You're talking to everybody. You're making nonstop deals. So nobody really wants to have him on the team because they're scared he's going to snake them.
I agree, though, that Jordan is a better competitor than Bananas. And take out his, like, nice guy, his apology tour, take the apology tour out. He's a way better communicator also. Like Bananas can't even tell Nani like what his strategy is. He can't articulate it. And Jordan is really, really good at that stuff. So, you know, the way that he used to tell Tori to run around the house with a chair above her head to really train her and motivate her, I'm sure was very specific. So, you know, I think he's better at communicating. And I don't say that sarcastically. I do think he's a better communicator.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining myself running with a chair over my head with my klutzy self and just knocking myself out because I fell on the chair.
I can't imagine my motherfucking boyfriend or fiance telling me to run faster. He would be running the fuck away from me.
I'm gonna throw the chair at your ass. Okay.
Well, unfortunately,
that's what it is. Alpha female shit. We can't do that.
Well, that's going to conclude season 9 of the challenge, season 38. Ride or Dies. Normally this is where we rate the episode. It feels kind of weird to do it without a elimination, but I thought the draft was also, you know, pretty cool, and at least they finished it and then have us going to the next episode of doing it.
Oh god.
But if we had to rate today's episode between 1 to 5 stars, what do you give it, Paige?
It's a 3-star episode for me. I did like the mini final. I like to see Bananas fail. I'm a sucker for it. And I kind of like it when people show their ass. And I think that Horacio and Fessie did that. And I think Devin's forced commentary was actually really funny this time. So 3 for that. The daily was way too fucking long. And I'm tired of them editing out drama. And you know there was drama we didn't see. There had to have been. So that's why it's a 3 for me.
I mean, the only drama was Tori and
Becky. What do you rate it?
I gotta give it a 3 too. I'm gonna match to because it was slow. I really didn't like the 20 minutes in the beginning where it was like, who's got a crush on who? Or be careful because Tori will cut you in your sleep. That really wasn't it for me. I was literally like, okay, let me pull up my book. And I just started reading while listening on the side because it was boring. The daily had its funny moments, which is why I think I rated it at least a 3. I was going to go with a 2.5, but the comedy of the daily and really Johnny just shitting the bed was just hilarious to me. And I feel bad for Mariah because that poor girl. I want to punch Fessie or Fessel, whatever he wants to be called, in the face right now. And I don't know how to punch. So I just get a chair. I'll throw a chair at him.
All right, Rob, what do you put do you put today's episode?
3.5. The daily actually made me put it over 3.5 because I was ready. I was saying, hey, can I sign up? Because I need a Spartan race that's just like this, okay? Nothing else. I don't want to climb nothing. I don't want to
create your own Spartan race.
I don't want
then
to pull up on nothing. Let me have a final like that, please. But that daily actually helped me make it at a 3.5, honestly, because I liked the in between. But it was the drama wasn't as beefed up like it should have, so that's why I gave it a 3.5.
So slow.
So I'm going to give it to the ladies today. I think 3 is the appropriate rating. I do like the final. I'm sorry. I do like the daily more than you guys did. It was kind of long, but I absolutely love mini finals. I think they're the best that they have to offer. The drama was a little light. Of course, we got the whole Tori and Jordan thing, but I'll give it to Tori. She handled it as well as she could. She said, hey, if we can't reach a conclusion, it is what it is. Don't engage. I thought that was really good for her. The rest of the drama was, there was really none to be seen. The whole A block was an absolute drag, and we didn't get a elimination of any kind. So I think 3 stars is where we're going to put it. That's going to do it for today's episode. Paige, why don't you go ahead and plug everybody with everything you got before we go ahead and close it out?
Oh shit. Well, you can find me on TikTok, pretty_pettyx. I do have an Instagram on that, but it's like a little bit of spicy content if you're into that. So you can follow that if you want to.
Hello.
Spicy? What kind of spicy?
It's like the step before OnlyFans.
Oh shit. It's like, you might as well get paid.
I know. Don't even get me started on OnlyFans right now. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just know that some kid I used to teach would find it. That's my expectation.
Well,
on Instagram, I'm most likely to pod. I'm spoiler free. And then you can find me where all podcasts are located, most likely to TWO. This week I had Tina on, and next week I have Queen Nerese. So yeah.
Bet you have been busy. You dropped so many pods this week. I was trying to catch up, and I'm just like, the fuck? There was like 3 pods.
Tell Nerese that we think she's fucking gorgeous and that it is unfair.
I was actually so thankful. She asked me to come on, and I was like too nervous to ask her. So I was thankful for that.
Where'd Rob go?
His internet. I don't know.
We're closing out anyway. He'll be.
I'm coming up on episode 1. Well, I have like 200 episodes, but I'm coming up on interview 100. So it's gonna be a really fucking big one. Somebody I've been wanting forever. So definitely subscribe, turn automatic downloads on, because you won't want to miss it, because this person is ready to just vomit all the tea.
Word vomit?
Oh yeah.
Nice. We definitely love to see it. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at LWC Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and TikTok at Love War Challenges. Cop your official Love War Challenges gear at shop.lwcpodcast.com. And our website is lwcpodcast.com. Get all of your customizable challenge gear and accessories at shopthechallenge.com. And make sure you listen to Love War Challenges on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app. Once again, I am MTV Malik. He is Robert Stewart Jr. She is Becky at GIF Master Bex. And big shout out to Paige for joining us, our first guest co-host. We love to see it. Thank you so much. And also, big shout out to the Challenge Unbothered Facebook group. We're in all of these Facebook groups, but this is where we call our home. They support us. We support them. Challenge fans, big shout out to all of those guys. That's it for me. Thank you guys all for joining us. We are out of here. Good night.